Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United Europa League, fellas. Now, earlier, the last 20 minutes of this game, for me, felt like the UEFA Champions League quarterfinal second leg versus this season's Napoli. No, that's how it felt to me, you know. Rather than a group stage game in the Europa League versus Omonia Nicosia from Cyprus.
Omonia.
Omonia Nicosia from Cyprus. We needed a reaction, from the loss versus Man City last week. I believe we needed to put this Omonia team to the sword. And I really felt as though we made this harder than it should have been. You know? Fellas, why do we keep making no contest into contest? That's what I want to know. Why it is we just turn games that should not even be a thing into nervy, your tail off the edge of the seat kind of endings. Why we just do that for, yeah? Nico, tell me.
But why? I don't know why. Because coaches come, coaches go the same thing. So now I thinking. I wonder because we as fans seen it this way, why? I don't know because we feel the pressure during the game that we see it this way because coaches come, coaches go. It's the same thing, boy. So I started to wonder now maybe it's just me or maybe this is a fan I seen it this way because I can't understand why oh gosh. That's somebody else answer, yes, because I don't know. I don't know.
Phil, tell me that. Why? Why we just do this to yourself for?
Boy, Nico take the words right out of my mouth, boy. I'm not gonna lie. From the time I see the likes of us trying to accommodate Ronaldo, I think that's where our that's part of the downfall as well too, right? Now, at the end of the day, football is about decision making, and the reason that we were conceding goals today is because of poor decisions, right? I mean, I cannot even pronounce this team. This team sounds like the disease after COVID-19. That's what it sounds like in my opinion, right? Yet we still conceding two goals. Still conceding two goals to this team. Oh, good lord, leave me alone. Yeah, still conceding two goals to this team, and we making it look like walking up Mount Everest in the winter, right? Um, I think we need to stop being so accommodating to Ronaldo. I will discuss that later on in the podcast.
Yeah. JP?
Yeah, well, good night, everybody. It had to be a mentality, something with the team. It had to be that they're not purified of the past as yet, because I can't understand if you had put like Arsenal to play this team. Arsenal would have like, and I can't believe we're talking about Arsenal like this. Arsenal would have probably beat this team like 6-7, and not even they might not even have gotten a shot on goal. But we give this team chances. We make this team come and play. When I hear the commentator talking about men from coming from Charlton Athletic who playing in what the third tier English football, these who they recruited, and these fellas scored two on Manchester
So
United.
JP, as you had not right, but as I was saying that our question, but you feel if we get a totally new 11 players and put them on the field playing for Manchester United, you think the result, you think all the performances gonna be different, boy?
That's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's something is really that high now or Pogba's tiny in Old Trafford. It's had to be that because, like, I mean, these are just top pros, by
Hey.
Simeon, you wanna jump in on this one?
I mean, I think I agree with JP. Like, I think it's a mentality thing. Like, when I watched it, like, City play yesterday, and you could see as soon as the game starts, they try to score 4, 5, 6. Their mentality is we go play and we go score goals and we'll be done by halftime. It's that mentality, and you see it. They ain't try. I mean, they know they're better, but they still put the effort in to get it done. And like we show up today, we look tired. Like Kareem said last game, we look tired. Today we look tired. Erickson, how long he play? I mean, how much minutes he play? Like he
He play
looked
whole
tired. Like
game.
it looked like a chore. I mean, that felt like a chore to score. Like it was hard. Like
Yeah, boy.
I mean, everything looked labored. And it was no cohesion. No, it's like I wonder what they do in training. Like it's like there's no what's the word? No refined passing and action or nothing. It looks like a chore. But I think it's the mentality that this team has that it's not a killer instinct. It's just like I'm gonna go out there, I go see what happens, and normally it goes fine. You ain't score, but you ain't losing. You play around, and then the other team who, I mean, they trying to survive. They realize, hey, nothing is happening. They do nothing, so we go try something, and sooner or later, and they go score, and this happens too many times. If you look back at the last few seasons, it's like, well, that's Sheriff. Young boys, it's always something like that. We play all the football, we take the time, we play around, we, feel good about ourselves, we get the ball, but it always happens then, and our head drops right away. It's like, oh, shoot, we know we're bad. Oh, I forgot we're bad. We can't win nothing. And the head drop, and, you got to wait till halftime for somebody else to come in to score, to pick you up. So I think that mentality issue we have, we have Maguire, I blame Maguire, I back up Maguire. Now we have Bruno. You can't let, as a captain, you can't let your team head drop in Cyprus against whatever that. You can't let it happen. Like, I don't care, somebody needs to. I have to get import a captain from somewhere, but they gotta find a way to change the mentality of this team.
For real. Mentality. Guys, don't forget to like and share the podcast. I mean, I know we're starting off on a sour note, but I have more positive things to talk about, and we'll get into that, right? Because at the end of the day, guys, 3 points was in the bag. We won the game. It's just our expectations and the demands from fans, how to be better. We can't accept mediocrity, because then they will come and play Joe Public and we will take 1-0 win and then kind of crap, right? So Son Lynch on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. He's saying here, we made hard work of an easy game today. I'm telling you. All right? We played with the food. Aaron Ramsey on the inside. Good night, buddy. Thanks for joining. He said Anthony Martial has 3 goals in the last 32 minutes on the pitch for Man United. Yeah. We go talk about that.
This man a real milk there, boy.
We go talk about Anthony Martial.
Yeah.
It's much more. Nico, I don't understand why you're talking about real milk. It is what it is.
real
It's
milk,
flowing.
no,
It's
but
flowing. Yeah,
Marcy,
milk nothing. It's
3
flowing.
goals in the last
Rivers of
32
milk and
minutes.
honey.
3 goals in the last 32 minutes. So God, come on now, man. Jeez.
Yeah, but when you look at but when he come, Nico,
chicken 32 minutes. Alright.
he made it like that, boy. He made it like that.
Alright.
All right.
Let me
He
milk it a
also
little bit too now.
he said all due respect to Ronaldo, but we're missing a striker. Ronaldo out of sync. Right? Rashford and Martial injury prone. We need a striker. Yeah. No doubt. Right? But to be honest, I find Ronaldo, he had a okay game. I don't think he was bad today. It's just he was trying too hard.
I think. Well, part of what Phil want to talk about in terms of we trying to be too accommodative to Ronaldo.
Yeah. It's also saying here, I think it's because we're trying to jumpstart Ronaldo. We're sacrificing goal scoring chances.
Yeah.
And I
That
think
was real clear today.
yeah, well, let me get into that.
Upsetting.
Let me get into that.
At the end, but what happened the first 45 minutes? I mean, they all had chances. Bruno. I mean, who else was up there?
Anthony.
I mean, they all had chances.
There's this chance that Anthony had where I
trying
don't
to
know
pass back to
I
Bruno?
don't know what he passed back to Bruno. Anthony, all you had to do is drag the goalkeeper and shoot with your right foot, and you just you're not even 1-on-1 with nobody. You're just 1-on-1 with the goal, and you're good to go. You had to pass back. You didn't have to.
Watch me. let me tell you something, and you all said it right before. It's a mentality thing because we went into this game thinking, hey, there's Omonia and Nicosia, goals go
Yeah,
come. So let me make it look pretty. We're not
yeah,
being clinical, we're not being decisive, we're not being ruthless. And all will happen is they'll hold us off, and then we go start to panic, then we go start to make rash decisions, and we will concede the odd goal, and we go leave Cyprus with a draw or a narrowing and ball. It will be a tough away game. And that's the kind of nonsense
yeah,
we're accepting, you
yeah.
know. But let me get into the Ronaldo discussion because although I thought in general Ronaldo had a solid performance, you really this game could have been um, decided a long time if we were not trying to cater to Ronaldo. Go ahead, Phil.
As as much as the players, and this is just my take, right? I think the players want Ronaldo to get that. Is it 800 goals, right?
7.
Yeah,
7 months.
Or 700,
7.
right? Because you're on 699. I
Yeah,
understand the players want him to get that 700 goals, right? But there are bigger priorities at hand right now, right? I would rather look to build a team, let's say with a fit striker up top, other than Ronaldo, and we establish this philosophy rather than catering to him. Now, if we're 2 or 3 goals up and we look to bring on Ronaldo and we start catering to him, I can work with that. But having Ronaldo start for us these days is kind of going back to us under Ralph and Ole, and I kind of don't want to go backwards. I'd rather take 5 or 6 steps forward and maybe 2 steps backwards and take 2 steps forward and 5 steps backwards, right? So this whole catering to Ronaldo, because there's so many chances that Ronaldo had today that he would have buried if he was like in his late 20s, early 30s, right? But I can end it on this note. As much as a lot of Ronaldo fans out there are still thinking that Ronaldo can do a job for us, Ronaldo has lost so much pace, right? Ronaldo has lost a lot of his decision making as well. Oh, but Big Phil, we should be catering to Ronaldo as a poacher. No, 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 no. There's no such thing as a poacher in modern day football. You actually have to work for the football as a striker, right? And Ronaldo isn't up to Ronaldo. Not, those levels of that Ronaldo show of being a forward who can drop back and go on drift on the wing. Those days are slowly but surely coming to an end. If not, he's at the end of the rope right now, right? So yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, fellas.
yeah. For me,
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, JP.
not yeah, yeah. For me, as a big Ronaldo fan, it was hard watching him today. Um, till he come coming down to the end, I was laughing even it was just getting funny how unlucky he was today with no matter what he was
Unlucky.
trying to do. And I think like he in his head, like you're seeing that in him, like he in his head because some of the chances Ronaldo had today, like I don't think he would lose that because you're an older player. Like these are like technique and thing, they don't lose that. He losing his pace, yes, but I don't understand how the decision making and the technique where that like how we losing that. So that's why I think it's got to be something more in his head than with his actual abilities. I don't think we could depend on Ronaldo. A game like today was a good one for him to come and score a hat trick. And from the chances he had, he could have scored more than a hat trick today. But something not right with him mentally. I think it have to be that because Ronaldo is Ronaldo. And I can't tell me like 4 months change a player so much. I know he's getting older, but I don't want to believe that his decision making and his technique
And
just
that killer
disappearing on
instinct.
him like that. Yeah, that kind of instinct. Like I
Yeah.
can't believe that just disappearing on him like that. So that'll be something deeper and like you're seeing from training and even on the pitch that the team have a certain kind of togetherness with him. Eh? He in the team, you can see he's part of it because Rashford immediately went to him to celebrate his goal and things like that. And he didn't look like, well, everybody scored and I again my goal. He was just looking frustrated with himself today. And I think that's the battle that he needs to get over for him to get back on track to scoring goals. It's something with himself.
Yeah, and before Nico jump in here, I
Mm-hmm.
just want to say because even the shot the second goal Rashford scored, Ronaldo that was not assist, that was not passing.
No, it was a shot. It was a shot. Yeah,
It was
I'm
And
a
you
a,
could
yeah.
and you could and you could see
I'm a question Max over that one. That wasn't a
yeah,
yeah,
shot,
it
boy.
was.
I
that
mean,
was
that
a
was
It was
a
in
shot.
pass.
between.
That
That
was
was
a
a
It
pass.
was,
shot. That was
I'm
a
it
sure
was
that
shot.
was.
something in
I feel
between.
that was
I
a
think it was
pass, man.
something
I
in
feel it was
between.
a pass.
Because you there's no because I even saw when Rashford run over, you can see the disappointment in Ronaldo's face, even though it was a goal, you can see he was like, damn it, you know. So I mean, anyway, go through, Nico.
Yeah, something I will touch on, and yourself, Reem, Simeon would have used it. Um, Phil and JP to some point. I think what we lack is the killer instinct, and even if I look back, let me say if I look back at even the City game, right? As much as City playing United, and it would have been 3 or 4 up or whatever it is. You're not seeing players trying to find players just for them to score, for them to feel good. You wasn't seeing that. If it is,
Right.
if we had the opposite score, them fellas had the killer instead of going for goal, right? We saw it. Well, we saw it with Anthony first. First and foremost, I don't know why he passing back for Bruno there, right? One again, lack of killer instinct. Rashford, you on a hat trick. Rashford, you on a hat trick.
Yeah,
Even if
like
why you studying to
to
put
pass
ball
to
on a
Ronaldo.
platter for
Yeah,
Ronaldo, no. You had to finish, go for your hat trick, and when the killer instinct come in, hey me, I going for the goal, right?
At
And my
least
hat trick.
Nico, at least if the game, let me say, was done, I could have
Exactly.
understand you want to sacrifice your hat trick
yeah,
for your player. But the game was
Exactly.
still in the balance.
Exactly. So to me, I think we're lacking that killer instinct, And another word I talked about that I heard recently, another doctor talking about he's still more or less mourning the death of his son. So maybe fans or whoever should be a little more easy on him. Maybe that is still affecting him. 'Cause I know JP will be talking about something maybe psychological, affecting him. Maybe dies what it is. But yeah, today we was too accommodative. We was too accommodative to Ronaldo today
I
because
got, I got to ask you a question. I got to ask you a question, Nico. But continue.
yeah, because and even though Ronaldo had a easy chance on a platter, that's a pass to Nico and he hit against the post.
of course.
And you're like,
Yeah,
this unbelievable. This is
yeah,
unbelievable. So I think something important is we have to have that killer instinct, right? Because let me say if we go on to play Everton, we go to play Everton on the field, what we gonna do? We're gonna try to get Ronaldo the ball for him to get his 700 goal. No, we had to go for the goal. And to me, that's the mentality thing that I think we're suffering from. We had to give up those hurdles.
Yeah, yeah. Phil?
Now, Nico made a point with regards to Ronaldo still getting over the passing of his child. Right now, don't get me wrong. I I do share the empathy with Ronaldo. Right, but the one question you got to ask yourself as well too. Or not, I know it's not even a question, but like it doesn't. The opposition doesn't care if that's being a bit too harsh. And it may sound harsh, but the
yeah.
opposition is going to be like, okay, well, I understand that Ronaldo is going through some tough times with his family and his personal life, right? The opposition don't care as harsh as harsh as it may sound. The opposition isn't going to be like, well, we also must you know give ease up or be lenient with Ronaldo. They don't care. That's just my take, right?
Yeah, yeah. Simeon, you want to jump in on
I mean, I felt Ten Hag was very, all the beef that they say he had, him and Ten Hag have, it was nice that to let him play most of the game or all the game, trying to get a goal. I mean, Ronaldo was playing real mess, and Ten Hag, as a man trying to, I mean, move his team forward and keep his job, seeing all the mess Ronaldo played, he could have pulled him off, but he left him on, trying to get that one goal. So that was interesting that Ronaldo played, almost the whole game. But I was watching this game for two things: to see if they could play Ten Hag style, and to see if Ronaldo could finish. And neither, I mean, they achieved neither. I mean, Ronaldo, his attribute right now is his finishing. I don't care how good he perform, how good he pass, but his biggest attribute to his team is his finishing. We have Martial to play the gut player. We have Rashford to speed. But Ronaldo is there to finish. If he can't finish, what's his use to the team? Um, but and we have to watch too. Like we at best, our best defense, for the season has been when we play pressure football. Like in the preseason, we pressure up front. All the guys pressure up front, and we look we look great as a team. Like wow, this guys are pressuring. And like that is just falling apart. His last few games, and once they get past the first wave, it's just right through. Right through the midfield, right through, and every time they get past us, you feel like they're going to score. So Ten Hag has to look. I mean, look at his system and see what's going wrong because right now, if we can't pressure up front, with Varane out, we're gonna be in trouble come next game.
Yeah.
I want to say something in terms of Simeon there because to me, the only time we looked ragged today was after they scored.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think we were very solid. I think we were winning back the ball very quickly. Yes, we may have not been playing the ball fast enough to break them down fast enough, but to me, I think we had good control of the game. And it's only in that period after the goal where they would have been, cutting through as Simeon would have said. Every chance they got, maybe a feeling like something could have happened. But generally for me, I think the team has improved in terms of teams just cutting through us. Last season, it was almost every play you're feeling like a team could have scored. This season, as much as it happening a bit, which especially against the City game, I think it hasn't been as much as before.
All right. Let me just get some comments, but I want to kind of continue on that vein from Nico there, right? Ethan saying here, the thing is how hard he tried, how frustrating he was, and he's talking about Ronaldo here. Yeah, so it's something that everybody noticed, right? And he agreeing here, it's in his head. He puts pressure on himself, and I guess him putting pressure on himself is why he is who he is and where he is, today, right? So, I mean, we can't use it could we use it as a positive, but then a negative to suit a time?
Paradox. It's a paradox.
I don't know. He also saying here, wondering if family issues affecting him, and I think we spoke about that. King and really pray on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining. He's saying Ronaldo frustrated me today. He needs to relax. Right? Rishi Shripat on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying I love Ronaldo, but the guys had to be a little more selfish. I just feel we could have win that game 6-1. Exactly. He also saying here, and I think that would have removed some weight off his shoulders, and he would have scored without issues. And that is also a big possibility, yeah? Doing on the inside, good night, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying Ronaldo isn't mentally stable with everything going on with him, apart from his decline. Football is 60%, mental is 40%. Physical, debatable, I know, but just my opinion. Yeah. Rishi is saying here, and yes, I say 6-1 because opposition would have been shell shocked. Yeah, I'm not doubting because the kind of chances we missed today, that game could have well and truly been 6-1. Right? So, fellas, moving on, right? Now, after Nico, you had mentioned that, after we concede the goal, and we want to talk about the goal and who had to take. Now, we know the whole team win and the whole team lose. But when we look at that little passenger play, and then we concede on the counter, is it Malacia alone? Sancho had to take some part of responsibility there because I find, in my opinion, we commit so much players for the corner already, right? and Sancho had the ball, I don't think he was under any pressure to say he needed to relieve himself of possession, to put the last player, Malacia, under that kind of pressure. Because as Malacia get the ball, he'd make a bad touch. But from the time Malacia had that ball, it was 2 or 3 players closing down Malacia. So Malacia had no options to pass the ball to really, especially after that poor touch. So tell me now. Because I think Jadon Sancho had a howler today.
Yep.
But you cannot pass back to the here.
Who? Malacia?
Yeah.
But after the touch, you see,
Yeah.
to me, because of that heavy touch, I don't know if you didn't expect Sancho. It was a surprise pass from Sancho that he would have taken that heavy touch, and I think that heavy touch would have threw off everything, you know. But to me, as much as the heavy touch, we had 3 defenders more or less almost around the ball, right? And I find we panic, and some days something we just do. Every time a player is running towards our goal, we just panic. We saw it against City again. So City, we have 5 players in the back. City had 2. Unless we got one man running with the ball, we just running helter-skelter panicking. And that one man, or let me say the one man will pass the ball to the next one man when we have 5 and they go score. And I just can't understand. But how we just can't do that? Because we just be seeing 2 of us and we just say, but what we expect to happen is only 2 of them and it's 5 of them. But watch what happening with City, right? It's 2 of them and 5 of us and they're scoring. So I think we just panic. We just panic too much. Yes, was that terrible. Sancho that terrible day at the office. Sancho to me didn't get dropped for a while, right? Especially with the form Rashford coming in. I think Sancho need to get dropped, to be honest. Unfortunately, I think Malacia will see some bench time too. But to me, it's unfortunate. Because we gotta stick with Shaw until Shaw drop form or you're injured, wherever it is, right? No, and that the reality. But to me, I think we could have recovered that situation defensively, but we made a whole mess of it after the Malacia mistake.
JP, because I remember, I saw how that happened, and it gave me shades of the Istanbul Başakşehir game. Was it last season or season before in the Champions League? With Dembaba, right?
Yeah.
But it's something I think I had mentioned to Nico before, that Eriksen, in a defensive sense, not giving us much. Because Eriksen was the closest man to the attacker. And all Eriksen was supposed to do, and it's something that I saw Martinez do, and I guess he's not a defender, so probably he may not know. I don't know. But it could be a football thing for me, right? Rather than you had to be a defender to understand this. But Eriksen was supposed to hold his position.
And then he run out.
And he run out.
Yeah.
And that make it easy for the attacker to slip that pass.
Yeah. And he play him on too.
Yeah. So how to play it, boy? I really think that Ten Hag had to revisit his team structure in terms of probably going back to, probably, oh gosh, I don't know. I just saying it because
Fred and Casemiro.
Fred and Casemiro, McTominay and Casemiro. I don't know. Where's the thoughts on that? Because I guess watching how easily, we being carved open, and yes, Nico said it's only City, and we saw it a lot happen, today, I find, especially the last 20-25 minutes of the game. But the fact that we don't have that organizer in the back in Varane, right? And Lindelof not looking good earlier.
Yeah.
I think he needs to kind of reevaluate this whole thing and probably make a decision with Bruno and Eriksen.
I don't think so, no. I don't think so, no, because I honestly, Eriksen make the team better going forward, and in terms of controlling the play of the team. If we have somebody who could do more of the defensive work in the midfield, that's supposed to be Casemiro. I mean, I think we had to give Casemiro time today. I was looking at him, his position and was good. better than what you would get from McTominay. And that's where you see the difference with him and McTominay. His starting position in the midfield is a lot better. But generally, the team as a whole does not know how to win back the football. And I think that is the problem that I'm seeing across the board. Because we play a team that will probably get licks from Nottingham Forest right now. And they are the worst team in the Premier League. We played them and they look like they could pass throughout every player for the entire game, especially not the entire game, after they scored. After they scored, their confidence built up and they were passing around us and just running around players and like you just see men sticking out a leg or like they don't know how to tackle. And I think that is what the problem is. So I wouldn't put it on Ericsson. I think the whole team. Because when you look at City, De Bruyne has been tracking back and winning the ball. De Bruyne is an attacking midfielder. He has no business doing that, but he doing it. Nobody in our team seems to be capable of winning the ball. I watching Casemiro and sometimes you see winning the ball, but other times it's like, why are you launching in? Why are you going so wild? You forget how to play a position. It's almost like people just come Old Trafford and I just forget how to do what they know what to do.
I gonna the because no, don't get me wrong, Reem. You asked a really good question, but is this the type of question we would have asked after the Arsenal game? I don't think so, right? But at the end of the day, we won that game. But um, with regards to Christian Eriksen, I think he does the most running in our midfield. That's just my take, right?
Yeah.
And for a guy that's having a heart that had a heart problem in the Euros, for a guy that's older than Scott McTominay, I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised, right? I'm not surprised that Scott doesn't do that much running and he will fool some of us in those first four games that we were going on a winning streak. But at the end of the day, nah, he Scott McTominay never fooled me, right?
Yeah.
I was in a meeting today, and I got an update from Live Score saying, Scott McTominay struggles in Manchester Derby. Casemiro will be starting versus this team, and I'm not surprised. I won't be even surprised if Casemiro starts versus Everton this weekend,
He
right?
should.
But
Yeah.
I would say that I can end on Casemiro. I will judge Casemiro after he gets a run of games, right? Because this
Yeah.
starting just in the Europa League and being on the bench in the Premier League, it's not that much to judge a player off of, especially in his first season. So I would judge Casemiro after maybe, let's say he gets a run of like 3, 4 games, right? But until then, I don't really have anything to judge Casemiro on per se.
But just to get back to what I was saying there, Nico, right? Because I really I, I don't know how long Varane out for, right? And we've heard Ten Hag talk about Varane and his organizational skills and that kind of being that kind of leader in the back, right? For me, Martinez is not that. Martinez is the pit bull. Martinez running at everything, right? We don't have that kind of organization in the back. And I don't know if Phil talk about, the Arsenal game. Varane was there. So we had that organizer. But City, we saw how easily we were getting carved. Even today, I find for, two intervals in the game, it was way too easy. Too
Hey,
easy. You
they
understand what
could
I'm
have scored
saying?
like they could have scored 3, 4 goals. They could have scored
Exactly.
Yeah.
that. And
And I
plus,
think,
yeah. See, Martin. Remember that sequence with Martinez got the man shirt where the ball was bouncing in the area, and Martinez
Yeah.
grabbed the man shirt and was pulled off the back. I mean, that could be a penalty. Real. I mean, I'm not a referee, but I mean that shit was like a sail just coming back. I mean, they could have scored 3, 4 goals. I mean, easy. I mean, it wasn't gonna be like they didn't dominate the game like that, but they had enough chances to win the game.
yeah.
And these kind of games we often lose. I mean, we just lost the first game we lost because they scored a penalty. I mean, just we let them get too comfortable, and that's what get in the penalty area too easy. I mean, And this is what ranked team this is. I mean, this is a Cyprus team, and they have all these opportunities. We struggle. We Kevin Shirt. We united. I mean, how can we not see that's a problem? Well, we have to grab and scratch. I mean, we have issues at the back there. I mean, Varane might, he might, he obviously is an upgrade, but still, we have an issue to where our forwards aren't pressuring enough. Our midfield isn't blocking the passes going, you know, diagonal, we ain't stepping anything, and our back line is getting exposed.
Yeah. So my thing is, and I hear what JP say because when you look at City, they played Gundogan, Bernardo, and De Bruyne, and that midfield was
Yeah,
tight, right?
yeah.
So then what we not doing, to ensure that, we don't become so, open in midfield that we don't have to go back or revert to that kind of, I don't want to call it a low block or a double pivot, right? Because we want to have more creativity in the midfield, but earlier we not defending properly. So I don't know where you think, Nico, whether we might have a toy with the idea. Because again, I be honest with you, I watching this game today and I tell myself, I say against Everton, who is a much better team than this team that we played today, and they will punish us. As poor as Everton has been, they will punish us.
And they're not
Let me
good run now
Um,
too.
Yeah,
yeah,
let me say this.
definitely.
Like, I think like if we get our offense, like I mean, we are so inconsistent and so ineffective. Especially the first half. Like teams just, I mean, after a while, they ain't gonna do anything, so they push out more. They attack the guy with the ball more, and they open up more. And for some reason, we don't have that sense when we pass the ball around. We're trying to work it out. We don't have a sense to say, okay, we can't pass the ball to them last year. We can't pass the ball to this. We can't do certain things. We don't have a system worked out to where we could do the thing that City does for maintain maintain that for a period of time. We just can't pass the ball around and then we lose the ball. You know, you see when when Marshall come on and Russell come on, you see that link up play. That point where we get, we start seeing some real danger, and that's where you see teams kind of have to try and sit back and block it off. But without that fluidity on that end, I mean, teams are going to realize that we ain't doing anything, and they're going to try and block off the balls coming in.
yeah, yeah. Nico, before you come in, I'll just get some comments here, right? Um, Gregory on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining. He's saying, did well to come back and win, but we should never have to labor to win that game. Poor performance overall, barring Rashford and Martial. We wasted too many chances and we were almost punished for it. Yeah, yeah. Um, Nigel on the inside. Nigel, thanks for joining, man. He's saying on Ream Point about
About
Ericsson. Why not use Scott and Casemiro, use Ericsson in Bruno position? Yeah, that's what I was kind of alluding to. Let Bruno and Ericsson, let they battle it out. But go ahead, Nico.
yeah, on that same point where I was going to touch on, personally, right, and I could be wrong, right, I think playing Scott and Casemiro in the midfield is a backward step unless
Yeah,
we have to, you know.
yeah.
If we have to, if it is because of injuries, suspension, that kind of thing, that we have to play these two together in midfield, then I would say play these two players, because to me that come like going back to Scott and Fred. That come like we going back to McFred, right? And that is something personally I want to see us move from. We always used to say why we had to play two defensive mids. Yes, we know we do have Varane, who is the organizer, right? But they had to work that out in the back there. Let Lindelof and Martinez work that out, right? And I hope that, let me say, we go with Casemiro in the middle and continue playing Ericsson, because as JP said, Ericsson has improved the team, and I see no reason why that Ten Hag is going to change that. I just
Mm-hmm.
think that the guys in the back, they had to sort out themselves. And for me, going back to that two defensive midfield, it is a Scott and Casemiro to me at that back one, and I really don't want to see us go back there unless we
Like,
have to.
what if we play without a number 10? We play with 2 8s and a 6. So it's like Casemiro in the 6 ahead of
Right.
the defensive 4, and then Ericsson and Fred.
Yeah, because we have seen Fred coming on and playing in higher positions on the left and doing well. Fred has been coming on in those advanced positions and doing well. So I could see that. I could
That
definitely see
would
that.
mean no Bruno.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, because I've been honest with the fellas, I see it as a bit of a concern, you know. I mean, I just find it, if Omonia, Nicosia could come and score 2 goals and moving through our midfield
Yeah.
so easily, we playing much better teams than that throughout the campaign. And I really don't want to see us, you know, punished for how to put it, boy, for
To
not
be
seeing
naive.
something, yeah, for not seeing a area that we need to tighten up on and say, hey, here what, let me be a little more defensively solid. Now this going totally against my you know, what I for in terms of how I want to see my team play, but we're not there yet. Right?
So
Ericsson is a step up, but I guess until Varane come back and until them fellas catch back some kind of form that we've seen before, I want to make sure defense are hard to beat. Go ahead, JP.
you see what something I think we could try to, if you have like Casemiro, and as I was talking about his position, and you could see that sometimes he would drop back in between the centre backs and they'll have a back three. If our wing backs tuck into the midfield a little bit to create more bodies in the middle, so it's almost like if you're playing with a 3-5, when you have them tucked into the middle there. Because I think what happened is our wing backs going forward. They're going too far forward at times, and we just creating like 2 in the back, and then you have like 6 on top and 2 in the middle. So we just creating too much space in between. So when teams get the ball and they pick the pass, you don't have much bodies in the middle to get past. Because the wing backs going a little too far forward, so you have too much bodies way ahead. So they need to tuck in a little bit, and if Casimiro drop back, then you have 3 in the backs to at least. So it's something to kind of create an overload in the midfield. And it's like we trying to play attacking, but we're not doing it in the right way because we're not getting enough in between. Is everything going out wide?
And the next thing too, you know, as we kind of reference to Man City and how they do it, I realize a lot of our passing decisions are poor. The options
Yeah.
we choose, it often rushed. Because it's on a play today, we now break through from the back, and we had with the team now moving up, and Rashford get the ball and he forced it over to Anthony, and Anthony had about 3 players around him.
Yeah.
Right? And I ask myself, I say, you really needed to play that ball there, boy? You
Exactly.
really needed to play that ball there, boy? Play it in the midfield. Let me see if we could get moving around. Let me try to, you know, because we're trying to kill off time too. Right? So let the opposition, let them run back and let them try to reset their shape and wherever. And let me, you know, because we're giving them the ball again to come back and put us under pressure. And we now trying to come out of our box. So we are organized. So plenty, I guess, have to also do with the IQ in terms of passing decisions, you know, being able to recycle possession in an intelligent way in the midfield. We don't have them kind of players, and we dread. I don't know.
Question, like, is there anyone that could do like Matic's job from last year?
Casemiro,
Casemiro.
Casemiro should be able to do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Casemiro,
Yeah.
and I think he
He's
doing a
like
good
one.
job, you know. I think he doing a good
Yeah.
job, but any one
He
player
needs
you
game
leave.
time.
Yeah, and any one player you leave in the middle, they'll get skin out from anybody,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
So, doing thing here, we always reactive, never proactive. Years now. Yeah, and we need to dictate games and in a real intelligent way. That is all I say. So,
Yeah.
fellas, anybody, because, well, I mean, we look at the team sheet, you know, Ronaldo would have come in for Rashford. Casemiro came in for McTominay, and well, Lindelof, you know, carried on after he replaced the injured Varane. any of these players, did enough to start come Sunday versus Everton?
Yeah, but we have to start Victor Lindelof because there's nobody else. Because Maguire out for another 14 days.
Whoa,
Varane,
14 days.
yeah, 10 to 14 days is what I read. Varane is still question mark. So who else we got as a centre back? I know,
Yeah.
No.
right? So Lindelof is kind of automatic due to injuries, right? Casemiro is slowly but surely learning his trade. I want to see him start versus Everton,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there's a confidence brewing in Tony Martial, right? So if we can get that same connection we had today between Martial and Rashford um, going forward, I don't mind seeing Martial starting versus Everton this Sunday. But Martial, you gotta stay fit. You gotta stay fit, bruv. This whole you being injured every 2 and 3 games is absolutely frustrating. So yeah,
So before we move on from Phil, as Phil mentioned that, right? I just want to pick up a very interesting quote from Ten Hag today, right? And before I do that, Richard on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He said I thought before the match we would have won like 5-0. Bye. Now you alone now. So this is what Ten Hag had to say, right? He said,
You really gonna? You're
Nico,
good. You're good. You're
Nico,
good. You're good. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
relax,
ahead.
relax,
Go
right?
ahead. Me saying that thing. Hey, okay, buttons up, man. What? Go ahead. Go ahead.
He say, he say, Marcel getting injured was a big disappointment for me and the team. We missed him. It has an impact on the first couple of results. So even going back to the start of the season, Ten Hag kind of telling us here that he was disappointed because his plan was really to utilize what Martial has to offer, and we did miss what he brings, and I mean, he glad to have him back. That we're talking about.
Yeah, no, that's flipping that. No, but we would have said it. We would have said it even during the preseason that Martial was one of the players that made the team tick, that made the team better, that made the team look better in preseason, and losing him with injury definitely cost us a lot because I think Tenag would have done a lot with him as the focal point, and then to come and change at more or less last minute, I think that would have affected us.
Yeah.
Him coming back, hopefully he stays fit as Phil said. And we saw that connection with him and Rashford today. And we know they had that from ever since, So I think that could only improve with the confidence that Martial has now. Even Rashford with a bit of confidence coming off of 2 goals today. The last few games he had decent performances. So I
Player
think
of the
getting back
month.
those two, I think getting back those two players in the team will do wonders for us. And I think with those two, let me say, if those two players are against Everton, I think we have a good chance. We have a very good chance.
Yeah. Anybody else want to jump on?
Yeah, I think we need I first of all I had to mention my boy Rashford because I really glad to see Rashford playing how he playing again. He's still a lot more confidence in him. So I'm happy for that. And the link up with Martial is greatness between them. And we have to start with them against Everton. I think we'll see a difference with that because they have something that when they're playing together, Martial had to be through the middle, have to be through the middle because Rashford is much more effective on the left side. Sancho, something with Sancho. I think it's because he don't have the
Sancho head now
pace.
in the game, boy. Sancho head
Well,
He
now
don't
in
have
we're
the
the
really
game.
we're really
pace
going with
too,
Sancho.
boy.
We're going with
He
Sancho.
don't have
We're
the
going with
Sancho head now
Sancho.
in the
pace
game.
too.
Now in the game. He had I don't know
Yeah,
where
I don't
he had it.
know. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but
is there is
he's
there
not
any
like
is there
that
any
compared to.
competition? Is there any competition on the right for Sancho?
Well, Anthony on the right,
Like
but
Anthony spot.
right,
No,
but
but
what I say,
when so okay, so if no now if Martial being fit, who is your ideal front three then?
Anthony,
Yeah, it'll be
Rashford,
Martial,
Rashford
Martial,
and
and
Rashford.
Anthony.
and Anthony.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right, it'll be Rashford on the left, Martial up top, Anthony on the right.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
That's how I would start
I
against
can work with that.
Everton.
Yeah, I can work with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think also like when they look at Sancho now, I could see why Pep could have sold him to Dortmund. Because I think Pep would have seen that in him to say, well, maybe you need to develop more, and maybe you could come like a Ghana, you could come like what we did with James Ghana, right? Well, to a point, right? That then I would have say, you know what, he doesn't fit my system. Maybe something about him he won't fit, but I will sell him. And maybe he might be a world beater, and somebody else might take him, right? But at some point, Pep would have seen that Sancho was costing at City, and we'd have gotten rid of him. And for we know not really getting what we was hoping to get from Sancho. What we are seeing at Dortmund is what we're not getting at United. And honestly, I'm not seeing it could happen. I mean, I'm not payment and I block it wouldn't happen, but I'm not seeing where Sancho will really stake that claim now. He's willing to fight for that position. I think I still have a lot to be desired with Sancho at the moment.
Nicosia,
Simeon,
funny enough, you mentioned that with him not fitting Pep's style, and I was thinking today, I feel he might actually be a lot better with City right now because
Well,
of the way
anybody
they
might be good
play.
at City, right? To tell you the truth,
Yeah, it might work better for him
Even
because
Nathan Ake look good with City, boy.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But with Sancho, right? Because I don't know. I really don't know how to put it, boy. Simeon, what's your thoughts on this whole Sancho issue?
I think with Sancho, like the big thing with to play with the guys we have. I mean, our wings have always been fast. Like Sancho lacks that speed. You get past somebody to cut in and finish the play off. Like he needs like either to move like inside or something because I mean the guy has had some good games this year. I'm not gonna act like he hasn't been playing you know well the whole season. He's just not that talent we thought we had. He could be useful, but just not um, on that wing. I mean, I've seen some good plays from him, but I'm just not impressed with his ability to get away from. And the type of game we played today, it just seems like he was off. Like something was just not on with him, and his mentality to be locked in and play hard doesn't seem to be there. So I think it's more mental and a little bit, physical because he's not fast and he doesn't have that tenacity to make a difference in a team.
Somebody, I was looking at another podcast and the fella was saying Sancho playing as though he had nobody dirty his shoes now. You know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of pretty boy kind of that kind of. But I mean, I be honest with you,
yeah,
Sancho is one of the players that I like. But if I
yeah.
am being, straight up honest, I don't think even though the goals came, and all you know me, I just go beyond stats. I just go by the eye test, right? I don't really think since the season start, Sancho really had what I will call a top game. He would have pop up and score goals here and there. He would have scored some good goals. But in terms of me leaving a game saying, hey, Sancho really performed today, I don't think I've said that for the start of the season. I think he had a much
No,
better preseason,
yeah,
right? And I'm still hoping that, at some point he comes good. But what Sancho has to understand is this is the season where, you could get called out because last season we understand a lot wasn't your fault. A lot was going on with the club on a management level. But now, the jury could really be out on here. So I hope he comes good because I like him. I like what he offers. That link up play. I think the boy has talent. The boy has talent. It's just he little soft now. He on the soft side.
maybe the
And
wing is not really the best place for him, like
So then
that
where?
that
So then
position
where
that
we go play him?
because
Number 10?
You see, when I say like when I think of Sancho, like if I'm trying to compare to a different team, a player, it's like almost like a Bernardo Silva, where
Yeah,
they already have a
No
set
physicality to them, yeah.
position, and yeah, not a physical and not a quick player, but the touches and to link up play and then the goals that he would score is a player in that mold I think he is, and on the wing he not really proven effective because he can't run past players because he gets a ball today where if it was Rashford would be the defender and win the ball, and Sancho lose the foot race. He don't have that speed to play on the wing like that.
Yeah, Sancho more effective like, in like the final third, right? When we
Yeah,
are looking to like when we're at the end of the counter attack, if that makes sense,
yeah.
yeah,
right? Yeah,
But even low block teams, I think Sancho, but I just feel, like players like Sancho have to have the confidence to take initiative. I always feel as though he's trying to pass it off to somebody now. You know,
yeah,
Sancho have the ability if he confident and he's able to be the initiator. Sancho could do plenty things, but Sancho always want to pass it off, and that's what kind of annoying me about it right now because I'm
yeah.
not
Because he's
seeing that
skillful.
Dortmund player
Yeah,
exactly,
he's skillful. He could beat a
exactly,
man. So, like, in the tight spaces when you're really expecting him to say, all right, take on this man,
Yeah,
he not doing
passing
it.
them
Like,
back.
and
Yeah.
we know you're not going to run down the wing and blow past the guy. But when you reach in the final third, as well saying, that's where he's come alive. Like, when you reach there, we're not seeing him doing that. Like, take on a man and then look to get the ball in the box or something. Like, that's what we're not seeing from him.
yeah, yeah. Well, we hope. I mean, I agree that Sancho will be, watching some football from the side and coming on and playing big parts
Yeah,
as
will
as
do.
long as as long as Rashford, continue this form. All
Yeah.
right. So, fellas, let me look at. I don't know if I want to mention anything about today again.
No, I think the subs. I think the subs definitely made a huge impact. I think
Yeah.
Rashford, huge impact. Decision for even Ten Hag to make the decisions that he made when he made them last year for sure. Rashford came on for again? Sancho,
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 halftime,
yeah.
Sancho.
And then Martial coming on. I think all the changes he did work today,
and Martial
and the
come on for
players,
Bruno, eh?
First touch. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he came in for Bruno,
In
and
the 60th minute, so that was real unprecedented, though.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think all the players that came on did well. They looked good. And yeah, the form of these guys, Martial and Rashford, long may it continue, man. Them fellas looking real good. Yeah.
Yeah,
One thing we
yeah,
didn't mention was Martinez today, though. Martinez passing
yeah, boy,
going
that forward
forward.
passing, eh?
He,
Yeah.
Real deal, boy. The man is the real
yeah,
deal.
definitely.
So, fellas, let me look at Everton. Let me just get starting. What way your starting 11 gonna be for Everton, and let me get closing thoughts.
Well, I know we are talking about today, right? Unfortunately, but unfortunately, it's tough for me to say sure, boy. But I think sure, I
Shaw come
think
on today
sure,
and look alright and still get me vexing.
yeah, boy, that's right. Hey, so the back forward show, you know what I mean? It's hard to say that. If knows that hard to say. Hopefully, Brian will come back. I think Brian could come back. I honestly think Brian could come back. I hope he does. Right, the midfield are going with Casemiro and Ericsson. Right, with Bruno,
Hello,
with
kill
Rashford.
Ericsson, boy.
Yeah,
God,
now
Ericsson playing every game full 19. I never see
yes,
an
he
act
had to
sub
play.
Ericsson,
He had
Yeah,
to
man.
play.
Jeez.
Right? You can come off here. It's like how Bruno gets sub today. Next game,
Like
Ericsson could be the man to get sub.
they
Right?
keep saying that. They keep saying
Yeah.
that.
And
Next game, right?
Yeah, and with Rashford, Martial, and Anthony. Hopefully, Anthony getting Martial getting nod in terms of fitness wise to be able to start. I hope that is that. I hope that will be my team. That will definitely be my team for this weekend.
All right. Phil?
yeah. I mean, like I mentioned about 5 minutes ago, obviously the likes of Victor Lindelof will have to start next to Martinez. In terms of the left back situation, um, as sometimes you guys say on this show, iron sharpens iron, right? So I mean, do we give Luke Shaw a start versus Malasia? The game is at home or is it at Goodson Park?
Away.
Goodison.
Hmm. Don't get me wrong. These last two games, Malasia hasn't been the best,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
I I I will start Malasia obviously versus Everton, but Malasia has to realize that Luke Shaw was originally the starting left back for Manchester United, right? And he's looking to get back that starting left back place because World Cup is around the corner, right? So I would definitely start Malasia this game. Midfield will definitely for me be Ericsson, Casemiro, yeah, Bruno. Start Bruno. Bruno hasn't been playing that bad this season, right? But there's sometimes where he reverts to the Bruno of old, and then the front three after seeing after seeing the chances that Ronaldo couldn't put away today, and Martial take his chances by being brought on against Man City and this team today. I don't see why Martial can't warrant a start versus Everton. So front three will be Sancho, not Sancho, Rashford, Martial, and Anthony.
Yeah, JP.
Yeah, well, I think my team identical to Phil. I still rallying with Malasia. I think he still have more character than Shaw. So I think that's one of this kind of step away from the team the last few games where you're not seeing the kind of cohesion where everybody like hyping up and they make a tackle and things like that. I think that's something that we see in missing. And Malasia was part of that as well. Even Dalo, like they kind of calmed down on that. I don't know for whatever reason. But I'll still go with Manasseh because I think he has more character than Shaw. And he needed characters on the pitch. Shaw is just come and play.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
show jokey bad boy and show gonna rock
Yeah.
on Rashford and then pass it right to him and yeah, if you know
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
Yeah,
annoying
that
me.
that is annoying. That is annoying me, boy. This guy will make
Yeah.
a dart and run forward and pass a 2.5 yard to right. Like, big man, you for real?
Yeah.
And no,
Yeah.
and if you don't get rushed for it, he gonna run straight up by the corner flag, the opposition corner flag, and get back to Martinez.
Yeah.
Shaw cannot pass with his right foot, you know.
And,
No,
and
no,
that's the other reason I start Manasseh too. Yeah. Two left
Yeah.
footed.
Simeon.
I mean, I have to agree with Phil and JP. Like, I was thinking about putting Malacia on the bench, but I mean, Malacia is a better player than Shaw. I mean, he's younger. He has not as much experience, but you can see the talent there. You can see just the explosiveness. Like you get more from Malacia than you get with Shaw, and Shaw's been there a while. Shaw's played well, okay, in an international break, but Malacia is a better player to play this game. Martial has to play up front because the coach said, that's what he wants. So I think Martial should be up top. Rashford on the left, and me on the right. Um, Ericsson, he needs a rest. I mean, he go start, but he needs a rest. I mean, it's not right. I mean, I'm saying he looks tired. You guys say we need him. It's both true. It's true. I mean, both could be true. We need him, but the man he's played before he played all the games before the break, played international break, come back and play all the games, running down City in that midfield, all that time, and then come back and play today. I mean, the man tired, but it says a lot that we have no one that we can put in for this man to get a break.
Correct.
But I guess you got to play again. And Casemiro, I mean, we bought him, so but I mean, I haven't seen enough of him to be like, oh wow, he played for Real Madrid, the money we spent, but there's something there. He could pass the ball across field. I see that. I'll take that, and we
So
could go with that.
one thing, Samir, I think we would ever get a game from Casemiro. Has Casemiro ever had a game where anybody was like, oh wow? Because nobody
That's
really
it.
look at defensive midfielders like that.
That's it. That's it. That's it. For me, if Varane not fit, I go in with Casemiro and McTominay. Right? I drop in Bruno and I put in Ericsson in the number
That
two.
ain't happen,
Okay, we
Reeves,
know
but
that.
I know that's
Yeah.
your line.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
practical.
Yeah.
No, I tell you, why I see today and why I see last week Sunday, especially with Everton midfield of
He will be.
Ghana Gay and this Onana fella and Origi, not Origi,
I will be.
Iwobi.
Yeah.
They're looking good, already
He will
looking
be
good.
looking. He will be looking real good.
You understand? And them African fellas come with a jungle juice and blow past we featherweight midfielders. Nah. So I saying, Casemiro and McTominay with Ericsson because I just believe in a creative sense Ericsson is miles better than Bruno. Right? And up top, Rashford, Anthony, and all you go be surprised, right? But it's something that Ten Hag say. He say he have to be very, very careful with Martial. Right? He say he have to manage his minutes until he able to play like a full game or wherever and wherever and wherever. And so far Martial impact off the bench has been, second to none. So I going back with Ronaldo. I thought Ronaldo had a decent game today.
He did,
Right?
but not very.
I going back with Ronaldo, Rashford, and Anthony.
Nah, boy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Reem say that. Reem say Marcel coming off the bench to score the winner.
I prefer give Martial the minutes in the earlies and then bring on Ronaldo if you have to. Right? After all that, then chances Ronaldo miss. Nah, boy. Nah.
But that's how I
But I wouldn't be
see,
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
as I see, So guys, we second in the table. We really need to push this thing because we really need to finish. In my opinion, we need to finish on top of this group. And sometimes you don't want to rule, missing out because of our goal difference. Then you'll think back at games like this and games like Sheriff when we're supposed to kill off teams and we win in 3-2 and 2-1 and that kind of thing. Right? Because if we finish second, then chances are we may be playing Barca. Because Barca ain't looking 200 right now in their group in the Champions League. So they could come down, right? And you know what I'm thinking? We could do it without our fixture. Right? So we're in a good place. Once we win next week at Old Trafford, I think we place in the round of 16 more or less confirmed, right, Phil? We should be inside.
The first place team of any group in the Europa League will go forward to the last 16. But
if we win next weekend, we more or less in the.
But our next team next weekend is against the same team.
Yeah, in Old Trafford.
Yeah.
But don't forget, Sociedad won their game. Sociedad ahead of us, Don't forget that.
Yeah.
So we have to beat Sociedad. We gotta beat Sociedad by more than 2 goals.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm going away against Sociedad. I don't know, boy. I'm still not convinced.
Doesn't Sociedad have to come to us?
No, the first game was in Old Trafford.
No,
Yeah,
Old
we have
Trafford.
to go.
Oh
we have to go
gosh,
speak.
boy.
Yeah, so that uphill battle. Just
Boy.
Well, whatever we do in Europe again, we gotta try our best to win the once we win next 3 games, then we guaranteed to finish top. So we don't have to worry about playing those demoted teams from the Champions League and adding extra games.
Even if we beat Sociedad, we gotta beat them at certain goal difference because
more than 2 goals or more.
Yeah, well, according to what the goal difference is at that time, right?
No, it could be head to head. So they beat us 1-0.
Right,
they
so
beat
we
us
had
1-0.
It could be head to head, but then after head to head get cancelled out with both teams beating each other home and away, then it will go to goal difference. So we gotta beat them at least 2 goals or more, right?
Yeah.
The head-to-head goal difference is what they'll determine.
That was the first one, and then after that will be goal difference or something. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but it go come down to how we play against them in terms of if we win our next 3 games.
I'm looking forward to when we go up there Barcelona and we welcome Frankie De Jong to Old Trafford. I'm looking forward to that.
If he fit,
We
he
walk
enjoy.
in Champions League football. All right.
All right, so fellas, let me get some closing thoughts. I don't know if that was Phil closing statement.
That
You're
was
looking forward
closing.
to
That
that.
was closing.
That was my that was my closing statement. Before it's yours, guys.
Anybody else want to close? Want to get the last word?
Think Ten Hag. You see my head is bald now. I'm thinking I keep up Ten Hag. You know, I ain't gonna wait till this team make me think of ball. I'm just gonna go ahead and say ball.
Everybody ball, boy.
I mean, when you put that kind of team in Cyprus and you guys struggle, I mean, I'm sure Ten Hag now is thinking, man, like the work he has to do to get his players to play his system is a tall ask. I think every single game he just like, you know, like here that's coming up. I mean, whatever here was, it's gonna be there, just coming off because we shouldn't be struggling like this. So it's gonna be uphill all the way, and every game we win, you just gotta take it and smile.
Don't worry, man. My next game, you might be looking like Rob Holding. Don't worry.
A combatant. Jody on the inside. Jody, we looking to wrap it and you now reach by. Hey. He's saying give the goat time. All right.
Time on the beach.
Yeah. Let him tan with he body and he deodorant and them jockey and them we tell him. All right. So fellas, it was nice. You know, Phil, Cindy, and JP, thanks for joining Nico and myself, and those in the comments, we do appreciate it. You know, thanks for the likes and thanks for the shares, guys. We're gonna be here again on Sunday. You know, hoping that you know we could, you know, pick up the momentum in the domestic league and push on, right? Because we have real games coming thick and fast on that front. You know, so it was nice, guys. 3 points in the bag. We sit comfortably second in Europa League. But you know we want to win the group. So have a good one. See you on the next one.
All right.